Good morning, everyone. Here's an interesting little article from the Edmonton Journal about the future of Bioware. And this is a quote from, I believe, Samantha Ryan, talking about what Bioware does in order to be a game company, how they make their product. So the future of Bioware is actually in their hands. Now, we always knew this. Even the two CEOs of Bioware said that EA gives you enough rope to hang yourself with, meaning it's all up to the developer. As we've always known this, everyone thinks EA is this big, evil, horrible company, and they do have some strange business practices and what have you. But it all comes down to the developer and what they want to do and how they do it, how much time they have, how efficient they are with their time, what product they're making. So this is kind of the business side of things. And I think this is an interesting interview. It's not that important. It's kind of small, actually. But there's just one little paragraph I want to talk about. So Samantha Ryan, just so you know, is the EA Senior Vice President and General Manager of Bioware, Maxis, and Motive. So she's sort of the EA correspondent that oversees all this stuff. She's not the individual EA guy or girl, but she says yes or no. So this is the paragraph here. They gave me the pitch for what they wanted the next Mass Effect to be, and it's great. Okay, great. So again, she's not an expert. She just oversees things and she likes what she's hearing. I don't have any issues with it. In fact, we just presented that a couple of months ago to EA leadership. So she takes the idea and presents it to her superiors and saying, this is what we want to do. Can we get funding for this? The entire pitch came bottom up from the team. That's expected. This is how people who work with companies or work on amateur projects say, hey, let's make a game. It comes from the individual person wanting to do something. Other people look at that idea and say, hey, that's a great idea. I want to join you. Let's get a pitch document going. Let's send it to a publisher, see what they think. It's obviously a little more complicated than that because publishers like to have demos and tangible results before they start handing out money and time and scheduling. But this is how it goes. Nothing new here, right? Here's the sentence that I'm really focused on. My goal, so her entire job, is to ask questions to ensure they are thinking about the players. So all she's doing is saying, hey, how do you know this is what people want? This is what your fans want? Bioware's been around for 25 years. What's going on here? They are thinking about the marketplace. So not only do you know or should you know what your players want, you should know what's on the market. So we know what's out there that we can make that no one else has. So people buy the thing we're trying to make. This is basic business. This is nothing complicated. This is what you do in every business. You make sure what's out there is what people want, and you're offering something unique. They're thinking about competitors and making sure they really understand what players want. Now, I've been saying this for years about just about anything in production, whether you're making a pie or a salad or whatever. It's like, what do people actually want to buy the thing you're making? You know, people think that developers and creatives, it's all 100% creativity, and they're making art for art's sake, and how dare you stifle people's ideas without understanding genre? Like, you don't understand genre, smud boy. Yeah, it's like no. Genre comes from previous examples of products that people actually want. Unless you have an insight into genre or an insight into technology and storytelling to do something completely new, then you have no idea what you're talking about for marketing a product. So let's just read this again. My goal is to ask questions to ensure that they are thinking about players, they are thinking about the marketplace, they're thinking about competitors, and making sure they really understand what players want. So this sounds good. There's nothing wrong with this article as far as understanding what's going on. It continues on how they bought all that office space, but because of COVID, they haven't moved over there and all that other stuff. But this is the typical response from a publisher. It should be also what's in the hearts and minds of developers and producers on the project, that they're thinking about their clients. They're thinking about the customers and what they want. And what did we see in the teaser trailer of Mass Effect? We saw Liara. That was like, oh, yeah, she is pretty much one of the cornerstone characters of Mass Effect. When you think of Mass Effect and Aliens, she's one of the number ones up there for fans and people alike. very iconic since the first game. Not so much in the second game, aside from the DLC. She was a huge role in the third game. So people are going, we want Liara, or we want characters we can identify with and remember. We don't want Andromeda. Andromeda was a strange experiment. So they're going back to their roots, hopefully. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting article because of this person, Samantha Ryan, who's now temporarily in charge. Other things like Mark Dare is still working at Bioware till February, to forget the transition for people working on a Dragon Age. So there's obviously more things going on there than Casey Hudson just leaving. But this is at least good because EA knows what it's doing. So all those people who are bashing EA for strange reasons, like, oh, EA's bad, have some understanding of what they're doing. Yeah, we can look through their actual processes and how they're not adhering to contracts and other negative things like that. Lots of big companies don't keep track of. But in terms of Mass Effect, sounding fine, which is a good sign. Now, whether that means the developers will deliver on their promises and they have good ideas, that's completely another story. But at least the publisher is thinking right and they're liking what they're seeing. And that's a good sign of confidence from me. Thanks for listening, guys. Have yourself a great day.